Hi, everyone. I was really surprised when Dylan asked me to do this. He's never asked me to do anything before because he has it all figured out. So when he asked, I couldn't say no because it was like he was throwing me a challenge. I had to accept it. Then for weeks, he started to bug me. What are you going to talk about? Are you going to embarrass me, Dad? Of course, I refused to tell him. But yesterday, he did steal a glance at my notes. But honestly, he didn't see very much. So he's hearing this for the very first time himself, as all of you. I host a morning show on Channel News Asia. It's the second time I've been doing this. The last time was in the early 1990s, and I did it with Catherine Perry. Yeah, we were a team. She was one of the producers. It's funny how you reconnect. Anyway, First Look Asia is a show I do from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday morning. I wake up at about 3:30 every morning. It's not easy, but someone's got to do it. The show is a mix of news as well as lifestyle stories. It comes out of a really big studio, not as big as this. It's probably half the size of this studio. It's got 4 high-definition cameras. I've got camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and camera 4. So they've got the long shot that picks up the presenters, me, either Yvonne or Teresa, and then you've got our own individual cameras. The reason I'm saying this is because back in the day, we used to have 4 people manning each individual camera, but that's changed. Currently, it's totally automated. These high-definition cameras have got no one behind them. It's the way technology is. Also, 4 to 5 jobs were lost when they switched to total automation. Now, we hear the word disruptor quite a lot. It's a nice word. It's a cool word. But honestly, it's been around for a long time. Back in the day, we used to just call it change or a game changer. I'll give you an example. I grew up in the 60s, and it was black and white TV. How many of you still remember black and white TV? Okay, a few. Fantastic. Okay, I'm not alone. And then in the 70s came color TV. Fantastic. And now we've got high-definition TV. We've got ultra-high definition, and we've even got 4K. Do you know what 4K TV is? 4K TV means you've got about 8,000 pixels on your screen, which is incredible. Japan in 2020, when the Olympics heads to Tokyo, they plan to have 8K resolution. So it's just mind-boggling, but it's getting better and better. The resolution is going to be unbelievable. It'll be as though you're right there watching a sports event. You'll feel it. If you're watching a TV drama, you'll be able to see it as though you're a bystander on set. Now, when a new product gets introduced, we want it. It makes the older one we possess obsolete. TV needs to change too. That's why I'm here. I want to tell you about how I envision TV. How we consume television is going to change. This afternoon, I'll be talking about 3 areas. It's my own personal take on things. It will be how we look at news, how we look at sports, and how we look at entertainment. I'll start with news. 10 years ago, television held everyone captive when they said, join us at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, we'd have to wait. If we wanted to watch the latest news, latest business, or latest sports, we'd have to wait. Not anymore. If you want something, you want it now, you want it immediately. Not later, now. Here's what I believe is going to happen. I believe that what we will want in the future is first-hand experience. We will want someone telling us what's happening from a first-party experience. Not big corporations telling us how things happen, but more on a personal point of view. People will demand first-hand journalism. Many of us will be able to film and post and experience immediately. In fact, a lot of us are already doing that. If we want something, we want it uncensored, we want it live, we want it now. We'll be able in the future, even now, create our own algorithms so that what we want will be what we consume. YouTube and Facebook will benefit from this the most, I reckon, unless there's a third play coming in. Do you know how many users Facebook has? 2 billion. Do you know how many YouTube videos I watch every single day? Take a guess. 5 billion. Every single day. Did someone get it right? Oh, Catherine, well done. Okay, she hasn't lost her TV touch. That's not the only change you'll see. First-hand experiences. You won't be needing TV presenters, so I'll be out of a job. You will have digital presenters in any form you choose. You'll be able to create avatars of yourself or any character you want. You could have Taylor Swift. You could have Malcolm Turnbull. You could have Tom Hardy, Emma Stone, Harry Styles, or even Catherine Perry, presenting you the news in the format you'd like to see it. It will eventually play out in a 3D format in your living room too. So you'll be able to immerse yourself in it. You wear these Oculus goggles, as you see people doing right now, and you'll be able to experience news in a 360 virtual and fairly real setting. If you like football, if you wanted to see Wayne Rooney score a great goal for Everton, you will be able to see it right there as though you were right next to him, watching him take a kick. If you want to see what's happening to Cuba or Bahamas, their shoreline, as a hurricane comes barreling through, you'll be able to see it firsthand because you'll be immersed in a 360 setting and you'll be able to see it for yourself, the ferocity of a tornado or a hurricane. If there's a raging fire at a building in any global city, you'll be there. You'll be able to experience it. If, for example, a multi-billion-dollar deal is being set by a company, a football player maybe signing on to a new club, you could immerse yourself and watch it happen right before your eyes. You may not be physically present, but you can be very, very present watching it in real time because it will happen. Another thing I see happening is news getting to be a lot quicker. Currently, we normally have a 30-minute format. I can't see that happening because people are struggling with time. You want it quick, you want it fast, you want it now. So it's going to be 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And like I said, you can choreograph everything. We'll also want to demand that shows happen live. Just like news, we'll probably want talk shows and comedies happening live too, in real time. Because you know what? As we get older and more mature, I feel that we don't need to have things sanitized to be fixed. We like to see it unrehearsed. We're willing to be more accepting when it comes to mistakes. So the days of choreographed or rehearsed TV will be over. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is sports. With HD cameras being so small, we can do everything in a 360 setting. Can I get as close to an event as I want? Can I get as far away from a sports arena as I want? Can I choose the angles that I want to watch an event in? Currently, it's always the studio director deciding how you watch television. If you're watching maybe a rugby game or a football game, you're held captive because you're watching it and you're saying, all right, the studio director decides what angles you're going to be watching it. I can't see that happening for very much longer. What you will see is you will be able to play studio director. You'll be able to pick the angles you want to watch television. So if you want to watch an aerial view of a match, you can. If you want to watch a close-up of a player as he or she displays their skills, you can. It's your personal choice how you want to watch anything and everything. You can track an event the way you want it. You won't have to wait for a commentator to give you stats of a rugby player or a football player. Distance covered, shots on target, passes made, comparisons with his or her performances over the last 2 to 3 matches, you won't have a problem getting it. You will have it immediately. Bespoke information will be at your hand. Immediate match highlights when you want it in the first 5 minutes. If you just stepped out for a little while, made yourself a sandwich, and you came back, if you wanted to watch the first 5 minutes again, just the 20 seconds of the best moments, you'll be able to pick it. The first 20 minutes, the first half hour, you won't have any problems doing that because you will have the options to choose from. Now, it's not just news and sports. Entertainment is going to be the biggest moneymaker, probably even bigger than ever. As we rely more and more on machines, robotics, and AI and artificial intelligence, we will find ourselves having more and more time for ourselves. Movies and TV shows will end up being more interactive. You know what? If you want to be part of a movie, you can. You can actually immerse yourself into that movie scene. You can play a secondary role, a primary role. You can even position yourself as part of the production. No problem. If you get killed off, no worries. You just pay a fee and you can step right back in. Quite easy. You can play a different character. You can play the same character. You choose. And then, the thing I'm really excited about, real-time interactive video games. Now, how many of you are big fans of Formula One? I'm a big fan of Formula One. Okay, we've got a few. Formula One racing is trying to attract a younger crowd. It's currently, it's stodgy, it's attracting an older crowd. Some of you may like it, some of you may not. But imagine this. Why not give the viewer the chance to take part in a virtual race as the real race is happening? Think about it. You're right there as the virtual racer. So you've got your whole setup in your living room, and you're side by side with the real racer. So you've got Seb Vettel. You've got Daniel Ricciardo. You've got Lewis Hamilton all right next to you. You go through the same process. You go through practice, you go through qualifying, and you go through the actual race itself. Same thing, if you crash out, you pay to get back in. And if you record the best time at the end of the race, you become the world's best virtual champion. And you're given similar recognition as you will the real-life champion. Because a lot of things will be happening in the virtual world. So you can do it for a variety of sports, not just the Grand Prix, the F1 Grand Prix. You can do it for MotoGP on motorcycles. You can do it for sailing, tennis, squash, fencing, golf. It's probably going to work better with most solo sports. Now, in real time, imagine you playing alongside Sergio Garcia or Justin Rose as you stream up the 18th green as a member of the group. Wearing your goggles. Hopefully by then you won't be needing goggles. You'll have the whole screen project right in front of you in your living room. And same thing, over 4 days you take part and you're given the same recognition as that of a pro champion. Now to me, these could be the game changers or disruptors for tomorrow. I believe if you want to shake the way we do things, especially on TV, you can't just do it lightly. You've got to rattle the cage. And it's important that you rattle it hard, because if you don't stop shaking it, we're not going to be thoroughly entertained. And I think that if you're going to be afraid to try something different, you're going to be left behind. You need ideas. Ideas drive us to succeed. Now, these are just my views. I'm not sure whether these are going to happen. It could happen. It may not. I could be a fool ranting on here. But I believe some of them will come true. Some may not, but some will. We'll just have to wait and see. I just want to thank TEDx for inviting me, as well as AIS for this opportunity. Look, that's all I have to say. It's a short talk. It's very succinct. It's just something I just wanted to share with all of you. And I hope Dylan's quite happy too. Thank you so much.